In this class we are going to discuss about the next concept, that is bus arbitration. Okay, so what is meant by bus arbitration and what is the use of this bus arbitration technique, and why our computer makes use of this method compared to other methods. So how this bus arbitration will work, each and everything now I am going to discuss in this class. Okay, so first of all, I think already we have an idea about this, about a bus, right? So a bus is a set of lines or wires which is used to connect all the internal components of the computer, right? So that is the explanation about bus. Already we have an idea about that. Okay, so how they will communicate with each other, that means with the help of, that means how to communicate the internal components of the communicator, how to communicate the internal components of the computer means with the help of bus all the internal components of the computer will be communicate with each and everyone. Okay, so here also with the help of buses will communicate with each other. Okay, so you know that if one device want to communicate with another device, compulsory what is the mediator between them, what is the mediator in between them means the bus. There will be a one bus, that is the mediator. It can only send the information or it can only transfer the information from one device to the another device, because it is a line or because it is a cable, just transfer the information from one device to another device. Okay, that's why bus we can call it as here mediator. Okay, so now coming to what is meant by bus arbitration. What is the meaning of arbitration, that we need to understand first. Okay, so then I am going to explain you what are the types of bus arbitration methods supported by the computer. Okay, now we'll see all those things. Okay, so let me take one example. Okay, so for bus arbitration method I can go with one example. So let me take one example here, that is this is one device 1 and this is device 2, just assume. Okay, okay, so let me take one example with this, this is device 1 and this is device 2. Okay, so now these two devices want to communicate with each other. Okay, so now these two devices are want to communicate with each other. So how they will communicate? Okay, so you know that if communication needs to takes place, compulsory there should be one device we need. Okay, that should start the communication first with the help of the bus. Okay, you know that what is meant by communication actually. So communication is nothing but just exchanging of data between one device to another device. Okay, so now if I want to establish the communication between these two devices with the help of a bus, that is possible. Okay, so if you want to establish the communication in between these two devices, you can use the one bus. Okay, so then what is the first step here? The first step is, out of device 1 or device 2, any one device should start or should initiate the transfer. Then only we can say that the communication has been started. Is it right or wrong? Any one device can start the procedure. That means any one device should take the initiation to transferring, right? So here also the first step is, out of device 1 or device 2, only any one device should initiate the transfer. Then only we can say that the communication has been started in between these two devices. Okay, so let us assume if device 1 will start the transfer. Okay, just assume if device 1 will start the transfer, then based on the transfer the device 2 will communicate, right? Based on the transfer the device 2 will be communicate. Is it right or wrong? Right. So then we can say that the communication has between That means the communication has been started between device 1 and device 2. Okay, so now I will give one clarity to you here, whether the device 1 will start the communication first or whether the device 2 will start the communication first. Which one will take the initiation first? That means, it means depends upon that situation. So which one will take the initiation first means we can't imagine, right? Which one is the first take the initiation, we cannot imagine here actually. So depends on that situation whether the device 1 will take the initiation first or the device 2 will take the initiation first, right? So exactly we don't know. So depends on that situation, it may be take the decision first. Decision will state that will take that first, right? So let us say if device 1 will start the communication first, okay, it will take the first initiation. Okay, so then device 1 will become called as bus master. Okay, so in that device 1 or device 2, whether the device 1 will take that first initiation, okay, whether the device 1 will start the communication first, then that we can call it as that device 1 we can refer as bus master, or some other way we can say that sometimes device 2 will take the initiation first, no, so that time device 2 will call it as bus master. Okay, so why we are calling the device 1 as bus master here means because device 1 has started the communication first, that's why this one called as the bus master. What about device 2 means there is no separate term for this. If device 2 will take the first initiation, then this one called as the bus master. Okay, so now how to select who is the bus master here? Okay, so now we know which one is the bus master, but how to select who is the bus master? In this case we are considering device 1 as our bus master. Just assume now, so for the understanding purpose you can assume device 1 as our first initiation. Okay, so then automatically this one is our bus master, but sometimes device 2 will also the bus master, remember that point also. Okay, so how it is selected means the process of granting the bus mastership to a device based on its capability is known as bus arbitration. So with the help of bus arbitration we can identify the bus master. Okay, so what is meant by bus arbitration? The process in which it is going to decided who is the bus master. Okay, decided who is the bus master. So what are the techniques that are used, that we will discuss here in this next clip. Okay, so finally what is bus arbitration? It means it is a process of deciding who is the bus master. So based on that the mastership, that means based on that the bus mastership will be granted to that particular device. Here also just assume device 1 will already assumed as a bus master, right? That is the first initiation, right? It will take the first initiation, that's why we can call it as this is the bus master. Okay, so that means it is the process of deciding who is the bus master. So based on that bus mastership will be granted to the particular device, that is called as the bus arbitration. Okay, so that means the process of deciding who is the bus master. So based on that the bus mastership will be granted. Okay, so the bus mastership will be granted to that device only, that particular device only. Okay, this is called as bus arbitration method. Okay, so this bus arbitration can be done in our computer by two ways. Okay, so what are the two techniques or what are the two methods we are having in bus arbitration means, in that the first one we can call it as centralized arbitration, and the second one we can call it as distributed arbitration. Okay, so what is meant by centralized arbitration? So in this single bus arbitrator performs the arbitration method. Okay, so in single bus can involved in that. So what is meant by distributed arbitration? All devices participated in this selection of the next bus mastership. Okay, so in centralized, single bus will be participated in this method, but here distributed arbitration, all the buses will be involved in this method. Okay, so what is the use of these two methods? And that means the main purpose of these two methods is to find out the, what is the purpose? So the main purpose is to find out the who is the bus master. Okay, so there will be multiple devices that have participated in this communication. Out of these devices, okay, out of these two devices, there is multiple devices that have participated in this communication, right? So in that, who is the bus master, how it is determined based on these two degrees. Okay, so we can find out that bus master with the help of these two techniques. Okay, so in that, first we will go with this first method, that is centralized arbitration. Okay, so it is very important method, because this method which is used by many computers at present moment. Okay, centralized arbitration method is very important in nowadays. So many computers, this method, that means so many computers will be depends on this method. Okay, so this is the diagram which will give the centralized arbitration method. Okay, so in that we'll have one processor that is available, and there are two DMA controllers are used. Okay, so there are two DMA controller will be used. So one is DMA controller 1 and another one is DMA controller 2, and so on. Okay, so we have used latter so many devices we are used here, DMA controllers up to n. Okay, so what is the use of this DMA? Already we discussed in the previous class. Okay, the explanation about DMA controller already over, so you go and check it that. Okay, so let us assume here each and every DMA controller can act as IO module. Okay, here DMA controller will be acts as like a IO module or IO interface. Just assume. Okay, so these are the IO modules or IO interface and one processor, and here we have we are using three different signals in that. So one is BBSY and another one is BR and another one is BG1. Okay, BG2 also. So here first one, in that first one is BBSY bar. Okay, it means bus busy. Okay, BBSY abbreviation is bus busy, and bar is nothing but that shown by the active low signal. Okay, the bar will be shown by, this may be active high signal or low signal. So bar will be shown by low signal. Okay, so I am coming to the next one, BR. Okay, BR bar, that is nothing but bus request. So this is also having the bar, that is also consist as active low signal. Okay, so next one is BG1 and BG2. So BG is nothing but that we can call it as bus grant. Bus grant 1, bus grant 2, which is active high signal. There is no bar now here, so this is active high signals. And these two are active low signals. Okay, so remember that point. Okay, so now we want to find out the who is the bus master and which device is the bus master. Now we have to find out with the help of this centralized arbitration. Okay, so how the processor will take the place here? Remember here the signal BBSY bar, so which means sometimes more than one devices are communicate with the bus. So bus busy is nothing but here sometimes more than one devices are communicate with the bus. so the bus maybe becomes on the time. So multiple devices are connected means on that time the bus will be busy, right? So it may not able to fulfill that request also in that time, right? So automatically we can say that in that case the bus line will be busy. Okay, so that means it is the bus will be busy because more than one devices are connected at a time, so automatically the bus line will be busy. So on that time, along with that, we can connect one device one. Okay, so let us say here we are having one device, that is device 1. Okay, so it want to communicate with the another device. So and what device 1 will do here? Device 1 will send the one bus request to the processor with the help of bus request. Okay, so the device 1 will can send the request, that is nothing but here BR stands for what is that? Bus request, no? So the device 1 will be send the one bus request to the processor with the help of this DMA controller. Okay, so why we are sending the request here? Actually bus is busy here, right? So for that case device 1 will send the one request to the processor. So what is the use of DMA controller 1 and DMA controller 2 here? They will look after all the cross checking activities here, right? So whether the